Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Today we're going to address a problem that's fairly common with Penn reels and others. Over the course of time, handles get loose, like this one, or the handle knob breaks off the rivet, or in some cases you find a reel and it's already broken off, and you're faced with a problem. How do you replace the handle to continue to make the reel work? And if you go online and you go try to find one, a good used one is going to be about $10 to $12. And if you want to buy a new replacement with the rubber handle from Penn, it's going to be $16 or $17. That's before shipping, probably going to be $20, $21. And a lot of times the reels simply are just about worth that. And it's a little bit of a dilemma. So I want to show you a quick fix. It's relatively simple, and it'll solve the problem for you, and it'll last a long time. So let's start with this. This is the way it should be in terms of doing a knob replacement. You should have that open. Well, how do you do that if you have a ferrule where the knob just broke off, or a loose one like that? Somebody asked this just recently, which has got me into the source of doing this video. The first thing you can do, and what I usually do, is just snap it off. It can usually just grab it with the pliers and twist it back and forth a little bit. And what I recommend doing here, I don't have the hand strength, I'm going to recommend placing that in a bench vise, and I'll move my camera over to just show you in a moment. Let's see if we can do this. Yeah, if you place it into a bench vise, you can have more leverage, and also you're not going to bend the bottom of the handle. And just grab it with a pair of pliers and just snap it off. It just comes off pretty quickly with a snap. We'll do that again with the other one, which has got the knob. Same idea. Put it in the bench vise to kind of steady it. This time, instead of grabbing the ferrule end of it, we're just going to grab the rubber end of it there on the corner. And again, a little bit of torsion, and that's going to snap right off. And that's the problem with the handle there, is it's just worn, and there's no way to get that back. Okay, so now we have three. For the purposes of this demonstration, it's going to be wonderful. We'll move this back down again. Now I have three handles here, all without knobs. So the quick and easy solution to putting a new knob on is to just get that the bar free. And then there's two or three things you can do. You can order a knob from eBay or that. There's a lot of those high-speed knobs now available, but they're $17 too, and we're talking about an economical fix here. So what I like to do is I like to go to my local Home Depot, Lowe's, Mega Mart hardware store, and go into the cabinet hardware section and get a cabinet handle knob. Now I happen to like this particular one. I've used it a lot. This is a $3 solution. This is a solid metal. They call it a football handle. It's oval, it's round, so it's got a nice grip to it. And what I like most importantly about it is that base footing on this is comparable to the diameter of the end that we're going to attach to. So it's got a nice look, it's got a nice feel, it's got a nice weight to it. It's going to last. I know it's going to last because I've done this quite a bit using these knobs. And it's going to be attractive at the end. Nobody's going to think, well, geez, what in the world did you go doing that jury rig solution for? As a matter of fact, I've had people come up and ask me where I got the knobs from. So kind of interesting. Okay, so that's part one, is go to your Mega Mart and get one of those cabinet knobs. Second thing, the knobs usually come with screws that are going to be too long for this. In this case, I think it's 1.5 inches and 1.25 inches or something in length. That's way too long. If you try to put this through and attach the knob, you're going to wind up somewhere like here. No good. So while you're in that mart, get a package of screws from their aisle. These are machine screws. You need to make sure you have the right ones. In this case, it's 8/32, and this one's by 1/2 inch. Now, the 1/2 inch or the 5/8 of an inch I find work almost perfectly. So in this case, I found the 5/8 is the right one. And while you're there, get some small washers. And again, eyeball them about the same size as this back end of the knob. So one more piece is important here, and that's Loctite. And I use the blue removable Loctite, and it'll say right on there removable, blue removable. You can also use the red, which is not removable, but in the case of a failure in a year or 2 or 3 or 4, I'm going to go do this again if the reel is still working, and if that's the case, I want to make sure that it comes off easily, but not too easily, which is why I use the Loctite as opposed to using nothing. If you use nothing, and you could find yourself in a situation where the knob comes loose. Okay, so here's the big deal here. So you take your screw, one of the washers, and the Loctite working here, make sure it works. You're only going to use a drip of this, you're not going to use a lot. That's way too much, for example. I just want to make sure it was still flowing and not clogged. Okay, a little drop of Loctite into the threads of the knob. I got a little too much in there, of course. You got to watch it, because when it comes out, it's going to adhere to other pieces, like the washers and that. So you really don't want to clog that. You just want it inside, so it's going to grab the threads. Screw, small washer through the hole. Second washer. And I use those small washers because there is an indentation on these, and you want to just kind of make sure that you got that right. Just screw it on by hand as much as you can. That Loctite is going to take effect. Just be 1 or 2 turns that you're going to get out of this, partial turns perhaps. You don't want it to the point where it's snug, like you're going to put it on a draw. You simply want it where you can feel it moving, but it's tight. That's not too much. It's just there you go. So we've taken out the play. There's no play in the side to side on the reel. We've got a screw that's now secured by Loctite, so that knob is not going to fall off. We have washers in there to facilitate the turning of this thing more easily, and we have a handle that's ready to go back on a reel in just a little bit. We just got to make sure that the Loctite sets before we do that. So it's that simple. We'll do it once more, just in case you were getting coffee in between there. We're going to take a knob from a local hardware store or a Mega Mart. In this case, it's the football solid metal, about $3. I got these at Lowe's, but they're just about available everywhere. I actually saw them in Home Depot too, but the bottom of the seating here was a wider diameter like that, and I didn't like the looks of that one, but so it is. 5/8 screw, washer, a little bit of Loctite inside. I'll hold those threads through the hole in the back, and these are almost perfectly sized for that hole. You can see there's not a lot of slack in that hole at all by filling it with this inside washer. So now I have 2 handles that I would have paid $34 for, $17 each, plus shipping, another $5 or $6 there. And I've got this for some, with all the pieces and parts and the like, I've got it for a sum of about $7, so about $3.50 each. I had the Loctite. I guess if I have to go buy the Loctite, it's probably $1 or $2. All right, so there you go. So here's two that are ready to go back on your Penn reels, similar to like a Long Beach. These are Long Beach handles. They're the 66s. Go back on, do some service in an attractive package where people aren't thinking that you got some junk there, or what in the heck are you using, and it'll be ready to go fishing again, as opposed to just lying in a trash bin or having a reel with this sitting on it that just is inoperable because you can't grab the handle. Okay, so I hope that helps. If you like the video, please let me know. If you want to subscribe, please do that. I'm always looking to increase my subscription base. And if you enjoy these types of videos, I post about twice a week, so hopefully you'll continue to watch these and learn from them. This is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Thank you for watching.